guys, I just wanted to pop in today and read one of my favorite Bible stories. So I'm glad you joined me. And I'm going to be reading from Luke 19. So it's called The Man Who Didn't Have Any Friends. None. There was once a man who didn't have any friends. None. Do you have any friends? Well, of course you do, but not Zaccheaus. Poor Zaccheaus didn't have any. You're probably wondering why. Was it because he was so short? That's not a reason to not like someone. Was it because he had a name that was hard to say? Well, that's not it either. Even though he was short and he did have a funny name, that wasn't it. No, people didn't like Zaccheaus because he stole their money. Zaccheaus collected taxes. Taxes were what people had to pay to the king. But Zaccheaus took more than he was supposed to and kept the extra money for himself, and he made himself rich. Everyone knew that he was up to it, and that made them cross and grumpy. They didn't like Zaccheaus one bit. So they made sure he knew it by doing things like avoiding him and walking on the opposite side of the road and pretending not to see him and whispering things like, there's that nobody who thinks he's a somebody, loud enough so that they could hear it. Oh, here's the picture. Anyway, one day a huge crowd gathered by the road. Jesus was coming to their town and everyone wanted to see him. Zaccheaus wanted to see Jesus too, but everyone was too tall. He tried to jump up. He tried to look down. But that didn't work. He couldn't see a thing. Luckily, Zaccheaus had a good idea. I'll climb that sycamore tree, he said. So he did. He was surprisingly good at climbing trees for a man who was so unusually short that he had to take a flying leap just to get to his chair in the morning. Oh, picture, all the people, all the tall people. Little Zaccheaus. From the tree, Zaccheaus had the perfect view all the way down to the road. Another minute and suddenly Jesus was at the tree. He stopped and looked up and saw him. Zaccheaus saw Jesus and Jesus saw Zaccheaus. Zaccheaus, Jesus said, I'd like to come over to your house. Zaccheaus almost fell out of the tree. Come to his house? No one ever wanted to come anywhere near his house, let alone inside of it. Ooh. The people saw this, and needless to say, it made them even grumpier than usual. They mumbled and murmured and muttered, why is Jesus being kind to that big sinner? Doesn't Jesus know about him? Zaccheaus scrambled down and took Jesus to his house. He was in a big hurry because he didn't want Jesus to change his mind. Perhaps Jesus hadn't heard about him. Perhaps Jesus didn't know how he had been stealing and how no one liked him and how he didn't have any friends. But Jesus knew. He knew all about Zaccheaus and the stealing and everything, and he still loved him. Zaccheaus was ashamed. Lord, he said, turning pale, what have I done wrong? What I have done is wrong, not what have I done wrong. He knew what he did. But now I want to do the right thing. I want to give the money back to everyone, 4 times what I stole. And that's just what he did. Jesus smiled. My friend, he said, today God has rescued you. Jesus loved Zaccheaus when nobody else did. He was Zaccheaus' friend even when no one else was. Because Jesus was showing people what God's love was like, his wonderful, never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love. So, today I want to encourage you to love others and know that no matter what, Jesus is always loving you.